Dirty water and how do you do? Welcome to the Boston Schmuck Sportscast, the only show that's more inconsistent than Clayton Kershaw in the postseason. Bam! After that debacle I released last week, I figured I'd make some tweaks to the format. So welcome, segments! Laying the groundwork. Chris's jackass responses to sports stories. This is why I moved. Only in Boston would somebody ever throw a beer at somebody else. Oh, hey, wait, what is this? Footage of someone doing the exact same thing at Yankee Stadium. Oh, and Tyreek wants to prosecute as well. Hey, double trouble. And if there's anybody who deserves to be on the moral high ground, it's Tyreek Hill. Apparently a lifetime ban from Gillette Stadium isn't enough for the Kansas City Chief wide receiver. The way he's reacting to this whole situation, you'd think he wouldn't douse with beer. It was potassium hydroxide.
Petterson throws the backhand and you can see Mathis.
Ooh. Press X to skip concussion protocol. Promising Vancouver Canuck rookie Elias Petterson was busy deking and wrecking a laughable Florida Panthers defense. Laughable Florida Panthers defenseman Mike Matheson decided to channel his inner Dwayne Johnson right in front of an official without so much as a minor. Now Matheson was suspended for the play. I'm just disappointed that the headline wasn't "Florida man suspended for practicing wrestling moves on a child." In Game 3 of their best-of-7 series with the Milwaukee Brewers, the LA Dodgers were blanked by the Brew Crew when the $200 million squad had difficulty with cut fastballs and other rudimentary pitches from a journeyman pitcher. The excuse? The fans didn't have enough energy. Yeah, that makes sense. I always find it very difficult to do basic things without 30,000 rowdy drunks screaming incoherently at me.
Niners, and there goes Rodgers to the end zone, and Adams gets it!
Son of a bitch, he did it again. Aaron Rodgers played another round of hero ball Monday night against a depleted San Francisco 49ers team on Monday Night Football. Local rose-colored glasses wearer Adam Schefter described the feat as, quote, remarkable. Local Schmuck, me, responded with, quote, pray tell how. Yeah, I wasn't that impressed with Aaron Rodgers playing hero antics against a depleted 49ers team being led by a backup. They were in their home stadium, and Aaron Rodgers' semi-piss-poor play was the reason why they were in such a bad position to start with. Now, Aaron Rodgers is great, but the Packers blow this year, and I think he should focus less on RELAXing and more on RELOCATEING. So that's it. If you have any sports stories you want my comment on, comment them to me, and you can help lay the stones that make up the groundwork. Audience participation plays on words. Got 'em! Steak and potatoes. And now we get to the main meal, the main topic of discussion for today. As promised last week, is going to be on baseball, and specifically the Boston Red Sox. Now, there's only been one reason I've been able to come up with to justify the long and arduous baseball season, and that is that if you make bad hot takes in April, the 162-game season buries you for it. Interestingly enough, the idea for this show was actually hatched in April of this year, with my initial topic of discussion going to be on the Boston Red Sox and just how boring they were and how uninteresting they were in comparison to the other teams in the area. And I had a little bit of reason to justify this. Little bit. First, just look at the other teams. As long as Brady and Belichick are with the Patriots, they're always going to be relevant. The Celtics went 7 against LeBron, down their two best players, and those two guys are back and healthy this year. And the Bruins were a buzzsaw last year that are a year older and better. How could the Red Sox compete with that? Not to mention, I didn't really think they had a great offseason. Yeah, I wasn't really a fan of that signing. I actually wanted Giancarlo Stanton.
The 0-2. Strike three call. Curveball got him looking.
That's why I'm not paid to be a talent scout. I also conveniently forgot that the last time the Red Sox had a major culture change at manager, they went on to win the World Series, and that was with the guy that they just booted. So, of course, in the bars of Boston, anybody who was willing to listen would get to hear that hot take spewed at them out of this very stupid mouth. And then the Red Sox went on a huge win streak at the beginning of the year, and there were very few, if any, slumps throughout the rest of it. And then there was JD Martinez, who I didn't think was that great of an acquisition, was just smacking dingers at every ballpark he visited. The Red Sox then went on to post the best record in Major League Baseball. They got a home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and that's pretty freaking impressive. But what are you going to do to hype me for the postseason? Because I've seen great Red Sox teams in the past fall apart in the postseason. It was kind of like their thing for a very long time. Well, that's when Alex Cora broke into my house and placed a little postseason hype video at the foot of my bed like a benevolent leprechaun going from village to dell, putting thumbtacks in all the shoes of the little boys and girls.
We're almost to the end of our journey together.
Kings of the American League East.
8 months and over 100 photos in the making. I need 11 more for that wall of mine.
And it worked. That win wall is so cool. The do damage hashtag is so cool. The team beat the piss out of the Yankees at Yankee Stadium in the ALDS, which was so cool. Brock Holt, who's my favorite person, hit for the cycle, which was so cool. I don't care that he hit the home run on a position player, still counts. It was cool. And as I record this, they're up 3-1 against the Houston Astros in the ALCS. They're 1 game away from the World Series, which is, for lack of a better phrase, so cool. I wanted to have one of those do damage sweatshirts for this video because they're so cool. But they're $80, which is decidedly uncool. And I live in South Carolina, and it is the opposite of cool here. It is warm still, even though it's mid-October. And I'm not used to even wearing this. This is a bit much. I'm kind of regretting it because it's really warm still. Ugh. And of course, I could get one if you donate to my Patreon. But by the time it arrived, it'd be out of date, and the quick Carolina winter would be over. Whenever it happens, I think winter here goes from like December 15th through the 17th? I could be wrong with that. I have to check. I have to check one of those Carolina calendars. We're on to next time. We're on to next time, which is basically my way of saying, here's some teases for what we're going to talk about next time. Specifically, I think the amount of time that will pass between when I record this now and when I decide to record this again, there will be enough games played in both the NBA and the NHL where I'd be able to kind of discuss hockey and basketball a little bit, which will be exciting because I think both Bruins and Celtics will be exciting this year, and I think there's going to be some plot lines to keep track of in both leagues. Also, I'm going to give you an update on my 32 team list of favorites without the mess of last time. And finally, subscribe to me, the channel, like the video, follow me on Twitter, donate to the cause, yada yada yada. Until next time, this is Chris the Nerd, shipping up and shipping out.